Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Ma'am, screen
All right.
share பண்ணணுமா?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. For
Okay.
some time alone. Okay. All right. So we were talking about your value education. We are in your value education class. Can you able to tell me whatever we have seen during this class? Last class, during your last class, whatever we have seen during your last class? Yes, it's a value education. Can you just tell me what are the story? What story we saw during our last class? We saw a video, right, regarding it? Yeah, Gulliver's Travels. So what exactly happened in Gulliver's Travels? What did happen? Where is Gulliver from? Which country? Which country? No. He was been there to Lilliput Island. Yes, very good, Jotham. So he's from England. Okay, so he went to Lilliput Island. Okay, so yeah, so he was like considered as a monster because Lilliput Island. What is the size of Lilliput Island? The people in Lilliput. What was the size of the people in Lilliput? Very small. Yes, 6 inches only. Okay, the size of the people here is 6 inches, but they always go to, yeah, they always go to what, they used to start fights and all from the neighboring countries. But can you tell me the other area they went, right? Small people. Yes, the other from that he took a boat, right? So he took a boat and he went to Australia. From Australia again he went to England, and again he went in a ship. Very good. So that was 6 foot big. Okay, so whom did Gulliver has been kept as a pet with? Who kept him as a pet in that 6 foot island, 6 foot big island? Who kept him as a pet? Can you tell me? Any idea? The king or the queen? Who kept as a pet? The king. Can you just see clearly? Can you just go through it clearly? I don't think it's a king. Yeah, the queen only kept him as a pet and also helped them by teaching their own language. Yes. After that, what happened? They again in that particular island also there was a fight between them. So they wanted to have they wanted to win. So what was their motto? What was the 6 foot people's motto? Do they want to fight or they don't want? Do they want to fight or not? Yeah, they don't want to fight. Yes, because what did the king say? Because of lots of lives will be lost, so because of that they don't want to fight. So that was the total story of about who was the author of the story. Can you tell me who wrote the story Gulliver's Travels? Ma, I've already told you the marks yesterday itself. Yes, very good, Murli. Jonathan Swift, very good. So he was the author of the famous thing. Yes, Gulliver's Travels. Okay. I don't want any other extra messages to be posted like Shweta, please don't do it. All right. So now we'll be moving on to your new lesson. So your new lesson is all about a bell of justice. So story is regarding the bell, the justice to be given to a person who is doing the thing by using bells. So before going into the thing particularly inside, you have to discuss about certain things. So there is a chart they've given, chart given below and discuss in the class. So you're supposed to discuss the chart what I am posted. We'll just discuss now and we'll move on to the story. So what is students' rights? What are the rights the students have and what do they do? So what are their responsibilities? So these are the things to be noted down. So the first thing is, I have the right to be treated and respected in school. So a student has the right to be treated, and they are also have the right to be respected in school. But and if it is respected, what should be their responsibility? Responsibility is, I must treat everyone in the school with respect. When you are given respect, you are also supposed to treat equally. Okay, so it's again, it is an equal manner. When you treat someone with respect, the same thing will be coming to you. You will also be treated with respect. Okay, so when you see the teachers, or when you see the elders, like your seniors of your school, whatever you have to supposed to show your respect to each other. When you show your respect to them, they will also respect you. So that's the first thing. So your students' right is, they are of course to be respected, and what is their responsibility is, they are also supposed to treat with the respect everyone. Okay, even though there is a driver, maybe the driver sir or driver uncle or will be there, right? You're also should supposed to treat them with respect. And so that's the thing. And second one, I have the right not to be teased, hurt, or made fun in the school. Yes, of course, you don't, yeah. Yes, it is like, treat the way people that you want to be treated. Yes, very good. That's the right thing. Okay, I have the right not to be teased. Yes, you have the rights not to be getting teased, okay, or hurt or fun of school. Okay, made fun in the school. Okay, and also what is your responsibility is, you must not tease, hurt, or make fun of anyone in the school. So that also it implies to you also, whatever you want to be yourself, whatever you want to be respected to yourself, whatever the right you are supposed to have, similar way it is your responsibility to do the same thing towards others. So that's the thing, second thing to be noted. So if you're not into teasing, okay, they must not treat you by teasing, or they should not hurt you. Maybe your classmates, okay, so they should not make fun also. All right, so this is what all the things. And you are not like, if it is, if you are getting these kinds of treatment, if you are not getting teased, you're not getting hurt, and if you're not getting any fun, okay, makes any fun, okay, similar way you are supposed to do. You're not supposed to tease anyone, you're not supposed to hurt anyone, you're not supposed to make fun of anyone. Okay. Okay, all right. So third one is, I have the right to expect that the things I own. Okay, so this is value education class, and I don't want anyone to talk about your science 2 exam and your exam papers. Your marks, those who are absent yesterday, your marks will be told during your science 2 class, that is during your biology class. Now please pay attention to your value education class. So I have the right to expect that the things I own will be safe at school. So you have the right, you always have the right to expect that the things you are keeping it in the locker, right, it will be safe. So that's your right. It has to be safe. So that if it is lost, it's like, that's your right to ask. Okay, so that's the only thing. So I have the right to expect that the things I own will be safe at school. Of course it will be safe. And what is your responsibility is, I have the responsibility not to touch or damage the property of others or the school property. So what is your responsibility is, if your things has to be taken care, and it is your right, if it is lost, it is your right to ask. Okay, a similar way, it is like, it's your responsibility not to touch others property, even it may be a small pencil, or even it may be a small eraser, or the things, books or notebooks that is kept in the locker. You're not supposed to take it from others without their permissions, or you're not supposed to damage their property, also the school property also. So that's your responsibility. If you want a right, it should be your responsibility to do the same thing. Okay, and the moving on to the next. Yes, we have to give respect and get respect. Yes, very good. A similar manner. And the fourth thing is, I have the right to work and play safely. You are supposed, yes, it's your right to work Also, it is your right to play also, that is to be safely, not getting any during playing and all. It's quite common to go and fall off, but still not getting hurt and playing. Without getting hurt only, you're supposed to play in a very safe manner. So it's your responsibility to abide by the school rules and not to play safely in supervised area. So it is your responsibility to accept and follow whatever the school rules are. Okay, so if you're supposed to wear the tie, okay, you're supposed to wear the tie. If you're supposed to wear a white shoes during your Wednesdays, you're supposed to wear it during your Wednesdays. Okay, if you are supposed to iron your dress and come to your schools, you're supposed to do it. So if it is everything is in school rules, you are supposed to obey and follow those rules, and also play safely. Okay, not getting hurt or not giving another person hurt also. And in one particular area, if you have been told to play only in the park area, you are supposed to play only in the park area and not go outside from that area. So that's all some common responsibilities a student should possess. And the fifth thing is, I have the right to be told the truth. Yes, you have the right. Okay, whatever the truth is, when some kind of problems are coming and they are asking you what exactly happened, it is your right to tell the truth. Okay, it is your right. Even though if someone has done wrong and they're asking you, it's said, if it is wrong, if they have done something wrong to you, you have the right to tell the truth. And I have the responsibility to be honest and truthful also. Similar way, you are supposed can if you have done something very like some issues has been created, accept the truth. Like, yes, you have done without your knowledge, or it will not be repeating afterwards. So you are just you have to accept the truth. Also be honest of whatever things, that's your responsibility. And lastly, I have the right to a clean, tidy, safe and comfortable school. Of course, your school is very clean and tidy, and you can be safe and comfortable. That's your right. And if what's your responsibility is, keep your school neat, clean and tidy, safe around, and report any possible dangers. So what it is like, you're supposed to keep your school neat. How can you keep your school neat? By not littering, like not throwing papers everywhere, and put it in your dustbin. So the remaining leftover foods can be taken and kept in your cloth and throw it out in the dustbin. So all the things are some small things you can do it for your school. And also report any possible dangers. If you find any dangers around you, like if you're coming to school, maybe any kind of problems, you are free to tell in the school. Also, if some physical dangers, like if a bench is not in a very good position, you can also report it to the school. So these are some kind of student rights and student responsibilities to be followed. But simpler manner is what you're doing, it will be reflected. Yes ma'am.
Hania Fatima message அனுப்புறாங்க மேம், phone number கேக்குறாங்க. ஆசியா சகானாட்ட waiting room ல போறேன் மேம்.
Yes, okay. As I told you, no unnecessary messages. Okay, you're not supposed to message anyone. Like these kinds of things to be avoided totally. I already told you. You will be put in the waiting room. Okay, don't do that. Stop chatting and also listen to your class. Fine. All right, so these are the 6 things to be noted down. So please, your students' right and students' responsibilities to be noted. So if you are not responsible, your rights will become more strict also. So one major thing, one simple thing is, if you do some kind of things which is not respected to your school, they will also make the rules very strict. So don't break any of your rules. Okay, so whatever doubt you have, okay, you can ask your teachers, or you can mail student, not for asking your numbers during the class hours. It's very bad, right? You're not supposed to do that. Listen to your class first. Whatever the doubts you have, you can ask to me or to any other teachers who are coming to the class. That's what chat section is all about, okay? Or else ask in Google Classroom. All right. Please turn to page 28. So that will be your value education thing. Okay, story is about. So it's about the bell of justice. So bell of justice, it's actually a story where during Mughal emperor period. So Mughal emperor, one thing of Mughal emperor is like Mughal emperor only introduced. So many of you like this biryani, right? So they were the one who introduced first the biryani to India. Okay, so he was the one Mughals like who built Taj Mahal. They were also Mughal emperor. Babar thing. Okay, Akbar, Birbal, and all. We have seen most stories. So they are all from Mughal emperor. So that's the story is from a Mughal emperor only. The great Mughal emperor Jahangir. So Jahangir is a Mughal emperor. Okay, yes. Aurangzeb, yes, of course. Aurangzeb is also one of the Mughal emperor. Very good. So that's what how the justice prevailed during that times. Okay, so what he did in that Mughal emperor, there was always been a bell. Okay, so bell in the entrance. So what that bell stands for is because that bell has to justify. Okay, so justice should be given. If someone touches the bell and they bang the bells, okay, so what is that? What happens is when someone is banging the bell, they'll be immediately taken to their custody and their problems will be rectified and justice will be prevailed. Okay, so that is the main that is the main purpose of the bell. So now what they are doing is, so what justice, it has to be it is actually, justice is actually a mutual responsibility, and justice has to be given to everyone. So they may be poor or they may be rich, whatever it is, justice has to be deserved to the one they always deserves. Okay, so that's the main thing. So what happens, this Jahangir told the people, told his guards to hang a bell so that justice can be given to whoever rightfully deserves. So he ordered a huge bell with a golden chain to be hung outside the divan ayam or hall of audience. So a hall called as hall of audience, it's been there, and there they told to hang the bell. And it's where it is means it is in the Agra fort. Okay, so Agra, the Taj Mahal, right? So it's in the Agra fort. So it is called as the bell of justice. So that bell is called as the bell of justice. So we are supposed to keep that in that. And you're if anyone is facing any problem, so that like they can be doing it. Okay, so that's the. So anybody who wanted justice could ring the bell. The emperor would give the person a hearing and ensure that justice was done. So whoever is ringing the bell, what he'll do is he'll call them, he'll ask for whatever the problem they faced and what did the justice been gone, and he'll hear it calmly and quietly, then gives the correct justice to whoever it deserves. So that was been happening. Okay, so one day what happened, okay, so people saw a woman. So she had two children. So two children was there with her, along with the two small children. Okay, clung. So what they do is the women came and she started to bang the bell in a very loud voice. Okay, so she started to bang the bell. She was crying. So she was crying so sorrowful. It was like so sorrowful. The scene was so sorrowful. And the two children were clung to her side. And she was crying and she was banging the bell, and she was brought into the custody. So she was taken into the kingdom. So what happened? The Jahangir asked what's her problem. So with the teary eyes, she said, "Your Majesty, we are very poor." So she's telling her side of the stories. Like she's very poor and she's crying while telling her, my husband cuts wood from the forest and sells it to give us one meal a day. So she's only taking one meal per day. Okay, so we used to take 3 or 4 times a meals, right? So sometimes we may have some snacks during evening also, and night dinner, morning breakfast, afternoon lunch. But what her husband was doing is he used to cut the woods, sell it in the market, and bring the money for only one meal per day. So 4 times or 3 times a person will eat, but they'll be eating only for one day. So Emperor Jahangir, so what happened is the morning when he went to the forest, he was killed by an arrow. So his husband died. Why? Because of an arrow which came in the forest. So he was killed because of an arrow. So how will my children and I, she's asking Jahangir now, how will my children and I survive without Janatpan? So it's her husband. So what will we eat? Give us justice, your majesty. So she's asking justice to Jahangir. So now Jahangir is telling, certainly you will have your justice. Do you know whose arrow killed your husband? Now he's starting to interrogate her. So he's asking who killed her with the arrow. With the arrow. Okay, now she's telling the person who shot the arrow will have to pay with his life for death of your husband. So an arrow to arrow and an eye to an eye. So I think you would have heard that. So that's what Jahangir is also telling. So if your husband is died because of an arrow, similarly that particular person who shot the arrow will also die. So that was the story from his side. So the law is very clear: an eye for an eye, a life for a life. So that's what he is telling also: an eye for an eye, a life for a life. So if one person is taking one person's life, and immediately when justice, how it is provided is, they will also be given the death punishment. So the woman kept crying silently, but she didn't open her mouth. She was just crying very silently. So Jahangir gently took her, okay, prodded her. Do not be afraid. Tell me who killed your husband. So now he's asking, please, in a gentle manner, okay, he's asking, don't be afraid. Please do tell who was the one who killed your husband. So she's raising her voice and telling, the arrow was shot by Emperor Nur Jahan Janapnant. Okay, so now she is telling the empress of the kingdom only killed his husband. So the people gathered and the hall. So people who are all in the hall, they gasped. So gasped means they're very shocked. What? The empress only killed. Okay, like that. So Jahangir went pale. So it was his daughter, right? Empress was emperor. Okay, so he was his son. Okay, so he was like, why he was like crying, verge of crying. He went pale. His face and all very pale, and called the empress. He was calling the empress, and she's asking the empress, okay, so empress, if your story is true, you have the right to kill me in return. The law allows you to do that. So he's asking, the empress is telling it yes, you can. Now the king is telling, you can kill if it is a true story. Okay, you can kill whoever who killed your husband. No, so the empress now, what she's telling is, she's going and clinging to the emperor's feet, that is her father's feet, and crying like, please don't do that. She was crying. She's telling that it was my arrow. She accepted, yes, it was my arrow. I shall pay for what? My life, not you. Okay, so she pay for it, my life, not you. So she was crying in the word of it, and she was she was crying, and she was telling, yes, of course you can do that. Okay, so then the people parted, making way to an old man who walking through it. So now everyone was talking. Immediately we know, right, if some commotion comes, means everyone will be talking to each other. So there comes another old man called as the quasi. So he was calling, then everyone is whispering when that old man is coming, the quasi, he's coming. So the old man was the chief quasi of the kingdom. So chief justice, okay, advisor. So he was the chief advisor of the kingdom. So what he is telling is, you have forgotten the law also allows for blood money to be paid instead of a life. So now he is giving another advice. So you don't want to kill the empress, right? So some life could be spared. How could it be spared? So another law which is being given in that, give money. Okay, equivalent amount of money should be given, so that what happens, the life of that particular who did the crime will be spared. Okay, so that is what the thing is. Okay, so he's giving advice. So the woman who's a crying woman, right, so what she's doing is, yes, I agree to that, she's telling. So the emperor gently lifted Nur Jahan. So she is the empress, he's lifting the Nur Jahan, and he was telling to her, yes, you can give the money, whatever the money, like her weight. Okay, if she's 50 kg of gold or 50 kg of jewel should be given to the particular person who got affected because of her. Okay, so she's telling, yes, But what that emperor is telling is, emperor is telling that particular empress that I will not give money from my ghazana, okay, because it's your fault. You have to give money from your treasure and give it to that old to that woman. So the people in the hall, then they have collectively signed, and loud cheers filled with air praising Jahangir's just decision. So because one life is given because of another one, that lady will also not be happy, right? Still she will starve, still she will be unhappy because she lost her husband. Also she don't have money to feed the children. But if money can be given as a justification, she may come out from the poverty line and she may feed the children. So that's what it is all about. It's not just for an eye and the arrow for an arrow, or life for a life. So that's what Jahangir was all about. So this is all about the story. So here, what was your value in this story is rights and responsibility. You should know your rights and responsibility. As I told you, if it was her rights to get whatever the decision she had, that old lady, but also that the decision which Jahangir was giving, maybe if he killed that particular empress, what would happen? Nothing would have changed much. But he took the right decision by giving, instead of her life, he told her to give the money to that old lady. So that's what it is all about. Also, you should know your responsibilities. Like, he knows his responsibilities. He wants to make his people happy and safe around him, and also give the rightful justice to whoever it deserves. So that's what the story is all about. All right, are you clear with the story, or do you have any doubts in the story? So I think you can see the picture. See the picture here, like the lady is where she has two daughters, like how furiously she is clinging on to the bell. Okay, and here is the kingdom. Okay, so this is what the thing is all about. All right. Okay, so your value education, your story is all about this. Now, can you just tell me any one of the rights which we discussed? We discussed about 6 rights, right? Any one of the rights which you talked about? Okay, Murli, Anand. Why? Yes, respected. Okay. Other than that, okay, respected rights. Okay. Anyone respected means you have to be respect and treat everyone with respect. Yes, truth, honesty was also another one. Yes, cleaning the schools, like school has to be clean. Yes, all those things. Yes, safely, very good. Also safely and all those things comes, very good. Rather than that, so another one, you are supposed to not to hurt anyone, and they are also not supposed to hurt you, or you should not be getting teased also. Okay, so that was also made. Yes, truthfulness. Yes, not teased. Okay, so whose emperor what, whose emperor was this? About whom did we talk? Which king? Mughal emperor. What was his name? Okay, Jahangir. Very good. What was his emperor's name? Emperor's name. Can you tell me the emperor's name? No, Janapanath, not. No, not that name. Okay, Jahangir. Okay, the name, yes, Noor Jahan. Okay, so Noor Jahan. The name of the emperors is Noor Jahan. All right. Very good, Ritula. Yes, Noor Jahan. Okay, and the name, the chief justice, they call it as one thing. No, someone has come. The dash. They were telling. Who was the chief name? Yes, it's called as the quasi. All right, very good. Okay. All right. So with this, I'll just stop. Maybe we can discuss your complete your sentences, and all those things will be discussed later. Any doubts? Okay, all right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.